Welcome to Blutalks.
All right. Who here, with a show of hands, would love a tool or a few that could help you boost your confidence in the moment before a very important event, say a discovery call that you've got, or a meeting, whether it's a pod meeting, or an interview, whether it's a podcast, or, like a speaking gig? Who here would love that? Yes? Awesome. Who here would love to have a tool to help you shift from negative states to positive states in moments? Yeah, awesome. I love that your hands are up. And who here wants to release all their trauma without ever talking about it in a few minutes? Yes, please, right? Awesome. If you said yes to any or all of these questions, then this workshop is for you. Today, I'm going to help you tap into and unlock your human potential so that you can create the greatest amount of change with the least amount of effort. You guys ready for this? Okay, quarter of the room's ready. Are you guys ready for this? You ready to have some fun? Okay, good. That's the energy I like, all right? Your energy is everything. In fact, this is a workshop. This is not a talk. I will be facilitating. I will be asking you for your participation. The more you participate, the more you're going to get out of it. And really, isn't that true about life? How you do one part of your life is how you do other parts of your life. How you do one thing is how you do all things. So I would love to actually have us all do our first exercise. I'm going to show you guys a very, very powerful tool that and all of these tools I teach you today, you can teach them to your kids. They're fun. They're fun. So let's all stand up. This exercise is going to help you ground and help you bring yourself into the most optimal learning state. So actually, I'm going to get you to stagger yourselves. You might just want to go off to a corner. That's all cool. Okay, we're going to have fun. This isn't informal. We don't have to be so serious. All right, we're going to bring out our playfulness today. Okay, as we should every day. All right. Okay, so make sure you have room. You might want to stagger. You're not touching your neighbor. Okay, good. Awesome. All right, so taking a breath in. And then like your tree, your feet are the roots, breathing all the way down into your roots. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to breathe, doesn't it? Let's do that again. Breathing in again. And then a nice, slower exhale, longer, slower exhale out. By the way, this isn't the technique I'm showing, but when you exhale longer than your inhale, this calms your nervous system, and this moves you from fight or flight to rest and digest. Okay, it kicks in your sympathetic nervous system. And this is really a powerful tool. Your breath is everything. It can shift everything in that moment. Take that pause. Okay, now I'm going to show you the tool. All right, so taking one more breath, and then keep your eyes open. So you're going to keep looking straight for now. Not going to move your head. You're going to bring your hands here, and we're going to do like twinkle fingers just because it's fun. All right, now I'm going to get you to look up, but without moving your head. You're going to look up. You're going to keep your fingers twinkling, and then you're going to move them out at arm's length. Your eyes are going to follow. Your head's going to stay there. So you start to open up your view so you can see in the peripheral. All right, you see all your fingers there wiggling. Good, and just drop your fingers. Your eyes are still looking up. And I want you just in this moment to notice what you feel inside, the sensations. Notice your emotions, notice your sensations. Good, and then coming back to now. What are you noticing? What emotion, what sensations? Beautiful. What else?
Open.
Open, yes. Anything else? Flight? Oh, okay. Okay, so calm, open, grounded. This is called learning state. And what happens here is you've opened up your mind and we're actually accessing more of our unconscious brain, which is our superpower. Okay, kids actually learn from this state. You ever hear about kids who are like daydreaming, they don't look like they're paying attention in class, and then the teacher calls them to ask them to repeat, and they can exactly repeat word for word? That's because they're in this state. And when you're in this state, learning state, you can't be in a negative mood. You're opened, you're calm, you're grounded. It's a really good thing to do before any important event. All right. Thank you for playing. Go ahead and sit down. I'm going to be very tangible with you guys today, okay? I want you to walk away. My intention is for you to walk away with tangible tools. So this was the first one I gave you. I love to tap into and educate you first about how powerful our unconscious mind is. Now, when I'm speaking about the unconscious mind, it's going to be the same as subconscious. In NLP, neuro-linguistics programming, sub, based on language, is less than. So that's why we call it the unconscious mind, those deep automatic thoughts, okay? I'm gonna show you, not just tell you, how powerful this part of our mind is. So all learning, behavior, and change happens unconsciously and in this order. All right? There are 4 stages of learning. The first one is unconscious incompetence. So this is your blind spot. You don't know what you don't know. And then the next one is conscious incompetence. Now you know what you don't know. For example, when we're children, we know that you can take a car to go from place A to place B. When you're in business, maybe you're not a marketer, you might be an entrepreneur, and it might not be your forte. You know that marketing is important, but you know you don't know how to market, right? Conscious competence is the 3rd stage of learning. And this is where now you are starting to learn it. Here in our province, when we're 14, we can start driving with our learners and we're learning. We're conscious about it. You start marketing, you're learning how to, and then you're taking the aligned action. But you're very conscious about it. You really have to think about it. And as you repeat your actions, what happens? What is this last one? What do you think that stands for? UC. Unconscious competence, right? It's automatic now. And so most of us who drive probably don't even think about it. You can multitask when you're driving. We just brush our teeth. I hope we just all brush our teeth on autopilot, right? Like we don't have to think about brushing our teeth, right? So that becomes automatic. It's unconscious. And so everything we learn moves into here. In my work with my clients, we're moving all your aligned, desired beliefs here. Incredible. There are 3 requisites for change. The first one is releasing negative emotions and limiting beliefs, right? Because we don't want to be stuck there. We're not going to be able to move forward if that's what we're focused on. Number 2 is focus on what you want. A lot of times when I ask people, what do you want? They actually tell me what they don't want. Well, where is your mind focused on then? What you don't want. What is anxiety? It's focusing on the wrong thing. What could bad happen? What if we focus on what is possible, the good stuff, the possible outcomes? And 3 is take aligned action. Power isn't knowledge, right? It's about applying that knowledge into action. And I also like to add a 4th, which is community. You can make all these changes. However, environment always wins. So if you are surrounding yourself with naysayers, people who don't believe in what you do or who you are, and you're making all these changes, what's going to happen? Unfortunately, environment wins. So community of like-minded people going where you want to go or where you want to be, right, is very important. All right. I love this concept. It's one of my favorite concepts, and it's the concept that changed my life and how I showed up. So victim mindset is thinking that life is happening to me. And so what we do is we blame others or we blame ourselves. That keeps us stuck. That keeps us in low negative vibrations. And it can be sneaky. We all have a victim card. So it's about really catching ourselves and moving into what I like to call radical responsibility. This is knowing that life is always happening for us and through us, even if the circumstances are not desirable. It's always happening for us and through us. And so asking, how is this happening for me, is very powerful. In the work that I do in NLP, hypnotherapy, and timeline, we actually call the victim mindset being on the effects side of things. We want to be on the cause side of things, all right? Because when we're on the cause side of things, we are in control of those ripple effects. All right. We also have 3 minds and 4 bodies. So our higher self is related to our spiritual self, our spiritual body. Okay, higher self connected with our spiritual body. Our conscious self is related to our mental body. Our unconscious self is related to our emotional body. And so when you think about even something that brings up a little bit of stress or a lot of stress, what's usually happening in our body? What are we doing? Tensing, constricting. Maybe we feel some knots in our stomach, where breathing gets a little bit short, right? And then when we think of something that makes us really happy, what happens with our body? It's opened. It's light. Maybe we feel more solid. And then the final body that we look at is physical. Now, when we have pain, physical pain, or symptoms of dis-ease, or actual diagnosis of dis-ease, that means there's already dis-ease in these bodies first. There's already that because it shows up last physically. Okay, pain means pay attention. Oftentimes, people might hurt themselves and then they have a physical injury, or maybe again, dis-ease, a diagnosis. And then when they heal from that, or go to a doctor, get it fixed on the outside, what happens? Something else goes wrong in the body because we didn't pay attention to what's happening inside of us, inside. So NLP, who's familiar with NLP? Okay, amazing. Half the room is. Excellent, excellent. It has become, timeline therapy and neurolinguistics programming has become two of my favorite modalities. And combined together with hypnotherapy, whew, powerful. I'm gonna share a little bit more about how that's powerful. So neuro means our nervous system, which is connected to our mind, and how it takes in our world with all 5 senses, okay? Linguistic is our language, the verbal and the nonverbal, and how we perceive and order things and give it meaning through language. And then programming is this, right? How we perceive the world based on our experiences. And so NLP is how to use the language of the mind to confidently and consistently achieve our desired results and outcome. It is a study of excellence. You guys like my drawings? I had fun making this. Okay, so this is our journey, all right? So we have a problem or we feel pain, emotionally, mentally, physically. We become aware of it. And then we realize, or maybe we don't, but there's an option here of choice. And what often happens, again, this is unconscious, right? So what often happens is we self-sabotage because we're just going between problem, pain, awareness, and then there's choice, and we go back to a problem. So this is comfortable suffering. I don't want that for you guys. I don't want that. But some people choose that. It's so uncomfortable for them to get outside of their comfort zone that even though things aren't working for them, they'd rather stay small. I don't want that for people. However, you have to want it badly enough for you to get uncomfortable and then move into the other cycle, the breakthrough. Oh, the other thing I want to say is often people try to jump to the solutions using the same neurology that created the problem in the first place. So the same conscious neurology. Not going to work, okay? That's why we can create some results temporarily. Like maybe we can make a lot of money temporarily, and then we all of a sudden lose it. Or we make a lot of consistent action in our health, and then we lose it. That's because we're trying to jump here, and then this comes in. Okay, you following? So when we tap into the power of our unconscious mind, we can actually access more resources because the unconscious mind is really where our wisdom is, our resources, our infinite possibilities. And this is where we get skills to manage, we find the solutions, and then we have different results mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. All right, this is the NLP communication model. So, in case you can't tell, this is a profile of a face, okay? And we're looking at an external event. Now, there are 12 million bits per second of information that's coming at us. That's a lot. We can't take all of that in. And so these are our 5 senses, right? Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, smell, taste. All right, we can't take that all in. That'd be like me here, all of us here, noticing the patterns of the carpet, noticing the stage, noticing every single detail of this room. That's too much. So our brains filter, and we filter to take in 128 bits per second. All right, now we do that by delete, distort, and generalize. It's a process. And based on our experiences and who we are, based on our filters, we all have the same filters, but the content of our filters are different. So these filters include something called meta programs, our values, our beliefs. It also includes decisions. And so these filters are the same, but we either filter in a way that gets us to look at life like a horror story or a love story. We get to choose when we tap into the power of our unconscious mind. And so what happens is, based on the filters, what we see and perceive in the world, that's called internal representation, the picture, your perspective, how you go into life and orient yourself. Okay, that's what IR stands for. And then that will affect our thoughts, our unconscious thoughts affects our states, our feelings, which then will affect our physiology. Okay, so if we have a horror story, we're probably going to experience pain or discomfort in our bodies. If we have a love story, you're going to feel healthy and vibrant and light. But this also then dictates our behaviors, how we show up in the world, our results, right? This kind of work that I do is very much, well, first of all, we can guarantee results because it's looking at behaviors, but we access here through the unconscious mind. Very powerful stuff, hey? Our mind. Let me tell you more about how our beautiful mind works. So this is the conscious mind. We only use 10% of it, all right? The unconscious mind is the 90% that we really want to access. Like I mentioned earlier, this is where all our wisdom, our resources, and our infinite possibilities are. This is where, when I'm working with my clients, their unconscious mind is actually the coach. I'm just the facilitator and the guide to help you tap into your unconscious mind. I need someone for myself because I can't do that myself, all right? And so what you see here, this red line, this is a critical faculty. Kids before the age of 7 to 9 don't have that. This divides it so that now we start to operate more and more and more in our ego, our conscious mind. We overthink, we people please, all those limiting beliefs form, like start absorbing here, but they form here, okay? They show up here. And so, when I put you in learning state, guess what I did? What do you think happened to the critical faculty? Whoop, it dropped, right? When we tap into our unconscious mind, when we tap into a softer part of us, our intuition, this drops. And so you're able to access more for yourself. This is a very powerful and one of my favorite statements. The conscious mind is a goal setter, and the unconscious mind is a goal getter. And say that again. Say it with me. The conscious mind is a goal setter. Good. The unconscious mind is a goal getter. Holy moly, does life get so much easier when you don't have to think about it and willpower your way through something. Think about, when people who want to release some weight and they're like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this. I'm going to follow a structure. I'm going to keep going. And you go to the gym and you start, but then like a month and a bit, maybe if that, it fades out. Look at January 2nd. How many people are at the gym? And then February 2nd, how many people are at the gym, right? And so that's because people are trying to willpower their way to success. But it doesn't last, because remember, all learning, behavior, and change happens where? Unconsciously. So it only makes sense that we tap into here, so we rewire your brain to get the results you want. Least effort, where's the easy button, right? I'm going to share a little bit more about the unconscious mind. So, like I mentioned, it's the coach. It holds all this wisdom. It stores memories in relationship to time and also not in relationship to time. Sometimes you forget a word, you're like, that has nothing to do with time, right? So it can recall things. It organizes all your memories. It represses memories with unresolved negative emotion. Think about a soldier at war. They just witness their colleague die in front of them, right? They can't freak out. They have to stay focused and stay alive and stay in fight mode. But what happens when they come home and there's no war anymore? What happens? PTSD. Now it's safe for those emotions to arise and flashbacks happen. As a psychologist, a former psychologist, I used to work with veterans and their spouses because a lot of this would come up. And I wish I knew about hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, and NLP back then. Okay, so the unconscious mind is very, very powerful. It also runs the blueprint of perfect health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. So when we access our unconscious mind, we heal. It's a highly moral being. A lot of times people fear that if they tap into your unconscious mind, something bad can happen because they're out of control. No, you are in control. It's, again, the coach. It's the higher self. It controls and maintains all perceptions, both regular and telepathic. We are all intuitive when we allow ourselves to tap into our unconscious mind. And our intuition never leads us astray, right? I know you all know that. It maintains instincts and generates habits, like I mentioned before, brushing teeth, driving. You don't have to think about it. Programmed to continue seeking more and more. Like it wants more and more. This is why we can tap into infinite amounts of possibilities. It loves symbols. It's like a toddler. It likes pictures, it likes sounds, it likes images, and short sentences or phrases, not sentences, okay? It takes everything personal. Think about it. Children are like sponges. They absorb things quickly, and they take things in personally when it wasn't really about them. That's what happened to us. That's why we have some limiting beliefs. Somebody projected something into us, and we took it personally and took it on as our own. It works on the principle of least effort, and it doesn't process negatives. So ever told a child, don't touch a stove, and what do? If they're a young toddler? Boop! I told you not to touch a stove, but they don't hear the don't. They heard touch stove, right? So our unconscious mind does not process negatives. Okay, we're gonna have a little fun here. I'm gonna have you experience some fun. Okay, you guys ready for some fun? Another exercise? Okay, good. Okay, let me just grab some water. This is called responsibly for change. Basically, in the work that I do with my clients, it's about following instructions. So this exercise, because you're always responsible for yourself, right? And this is about following instructions. So I'm going to invite you to take a breath in, and as you do that, close your eyes. Relax the muscles around your eyes. They are so relaxed. You cannot relax them anymore. Hold on to that relaxation and test them to make sure you cannot open them. Good. Open your eyes. Awesome. How was that experience? I think most of you passed the test. Was that kind of cool? That's basically you following instructions. And so if you notice that you pops your eyes open, that's okay. That just means your conscious mind is showing me that it's in control. That's awesome. Now, though, can you follow instructions? All right, so this is the work. As long as that test, you pass that test, then you can access your unconscious mind. I want to talk a little bit about brain waves. So right now we're in beta wave. This is our waking state. The next wave is alpha. This is when you go into a forest, you're walking amongst nature, and you feel so much more relaxed. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. And unfortunately, we don't live in this state enough. That's why we have burnout. Right? If we took more time to be in this state, that can be very healing in itself. Theta is meditation state. And delta is sleep. All stages of sleep, which also in our society we don't get enough of. Makes you really think about this, huh? And how important our actions are, our decisions are, and how that impacts what waves we're in. Okay, I also really love this diagram. I'm going to bring in a little bit of neuroscience, a little bit of quantum physics. So this is our current 3D self, our 3D body, third dimension. This is our conscious mind. When we tap into our purpose, this is us tapping in fourth dimension. You know, when you're feeling on purpose, you got that fire in your belly and you're like, I know where I'm going, I'm unstoppable. That's tapping into our fourth dimension. And then when we tap into our intuition, our unconscious mind, we are in the fifth dimension. This is the quantum field. All right? And this is where we're tapping into our unconscious mind. And then it is only our unconscious mind that can connect with our high self, our spiritual body, the part of us that accesses our infinite resources, infinite possibilities. Our conscious mind can't talk to our high self. We gotta tune in to our unconscious. I put this here too because I am an Akashic Records channeler. So my favorite ways to work with clients in leadership and business coaching is Akashic Records. Who's familiar with Akashic Records? Okay, good, half the room, excellent. So Akashic Records are your soul's library. And basically, I'm opening up your Akashic Records, and it starts with, it's at the highest energetic realm, so around the 8th dimension, and it moves up to the 12th. And your business has its own Akashic Records, and it may not be relayed to you. Sometimes when I open up my clients' records and then that of their business, their soul is feeling expansive, but their business might feel not confident. So the way I'm psychic is I see through images, visions. Sometimes I see Disney cartoons. It's really fun. And then I get meaning from it. I'm also claircognizant, and I'm clairsentient. So I feel a lot, and I get meaning from the feelings. And my clients' guides move me. So this is yes, no, future, past life. And so I can tap in to see what's in store of your purpose and path. Now, sometimes the business side of things doesn't feel confident. Like it's like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on. And the guides will guide me to past life, and then a story will show up. So one time I was working with a client, and again, she felt really good, but her business was feeling like lacking confidence. And so it led me to 18th century England, where it was a very successful seamstress store. And later on, like people would travel and come and get clothing created. There was a big box store that came in, greedy owners. And much more of a corporation and crush this small seamstress store. And it was there that it was there where it started to lack confidence. So I'm also an energy healer and a shamanic practitioner. So this is where, with my clients' permissions, we actually clear the energy. So this is called karma. And karma affects us now in this lifetime, okay? And so if we clear the karma energetically, then what happens is we turn that karma into dharma, which is purpose. Everything starts to shift in the present, and the future is very powerful. Sometimes my clients who their past life powerful self would show up, and when that happens, that means they want to be activated to support them in their purpose and path. So it's really cool to see how all this unfolds. All right. Let's move on to the 3 phases of quantum breakthrough program. So this is my favorite thing. Do you guys like my poop emoji? My kids were laughing. They're like, I can't believe you drew a poop emoji. I'm like, of course. Because the first stage is releasing shit. So we're releasing past negative emotions and limiting decisions, get this, without ever having to talk about your trauma, and in minutes. What? I really wish I knew about timeline therapy years ago. This is incredible. So how does this work? And we get it at the root cause. So I drew some weeds, dandelions, right? We're pulling at the root, not just at the surface. How do we do that? Well, I always ask for permission before any technique or permission from the unconscious mind of my clients first. Is it all right if we clear, let's say we're clearing fear. Okay, I clear 7 negative emotions, 8 if you include doubt, in a specific order. And every time you clear an emotion, this is the process. So is it all right for me with your unconscious mind, for you to clear fear and for you to be consciously aware of it? I need a congruent yes. When we get the congruent yes, then I ask the unconscious mind, what is the root cause of this fear that will help clear this emotion? Was it before, during, or after birth? And if somebody says before, I ask in the womb or before. And the unconscious mind will answer a month or a number. Now the conscious mind is gonna be like, what the heck? This isn't making sense. So it's a first wacky answer. And then we travel. I would have enlisted something called the timeline. So where your unconscious mind views your future and views your past. So often it's future, past, future, past, future, past. Mine is future, past. There's no right or wrong, okay? It's how your unconscious mind views it. And so with this, we travel and we go up on your timeline to the root cause, the event, that was the root cause, and you're like a soul looking down on the event. You never get emotional because you're not in it. You're looking down on it. And you receive, because we're in our unconscious mind. Remember, the unconscious mind holds all our infinite, what? Possibilities. Infinite possibilities, infinite resources. So it is here where we're receiving our learnings. And the learnings are always, I am. They're always short and positive. So depending on the client, it might be, I am bold, I am fearless, I am powerful. And it's really funny when clients are like, I am light? Because their conscious mind is like, what the heck? I would never say these kind of words. But they're following instructions and allowing their conscious mind to surrender so that they can access the wisdom up above. And what's happening in that moment is you're actually installing these positive learnings into you. So you actually feel different. This timeline therapy, release stage, only takes like 2 sessions. I have clients who are hardcore 10 out of 10 people pleasers. After this in itself, it's like a 2 out of 10. They're not doing their problem anymore, right? And that's one of the reasons why I can guarantee results at this master level, is because we study and we elicit how you do your problem unconsciously, and then the guarantee is you will not do your problem anymore. It's incredible. And so when we clear all of this, even like any sort of things that cause anxiety, that cause fear, just, okay. Then the next phase is cultivate present desired states. This is now about the present. So we release the past, we now deal with the present. This is also aligning values. Here's oh, I love this so much. This is also why we can guarantee results. Our values, this blows my mind. Our values sit at the deepest part of our unconscious programming. And so every value we have is attached up to 50 beliefs. And every belief we have is attached up to 50 behaviors. So conscious coaching or talk therapy deals with the outside behaviors. That takes a long time. Where we go right into the values, the deepest seated in our unconscious. And I'm going to give an example. We elicit values for business, for parenting, for relationships, for health and living. And for business, let's say we're listing business, if the values of clients, systems, and money are not in the top 5, that's probably why you're struggling with results. Okay? So those need to be in top 5. And then get this, there is a technique that takes like 2 or 3 minutes to actually edit the order of your values so that there's certain values that can be in the top 5, or add. So I consciously know that systems are important. Guess what happened? My unconscious mind didn't have systems. So my person that helps me added systems into my top 5. I'll tell you a little bit more about my story around that, but that is powerful, right? It just blows out the neurology as soon as we beeline to the values. All right, and then we also come back to wholeness, because there's all of us have parts. There's a part of me that wants to do this, but there's a part of me that wants to do this, and they collide, they conflict. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, because you're human. There's a part of us that wants to move forward and create this, but there's a part of me that's holding me back. We all have that part, by the way. Okay, and so each part thinks it's right. Each part thinks it's whole. And so what happens is in this work, we actually integrate it back together in the unconscious mind. It's a very beautiful, loving, gentle process so that you come back to wholeness, because at the very end of the day, we are whole beings. And you come back to wholeness so that you no longer fight with yourself, and then you can move forward and have the desired results you want. And then and I like to call this like the fertilizer stage. This is where we put, do you like my heart fertilizer? Right? We put it in the soil. And then finally, we work on past, present, what's this one? Future, that's right, right? And so we're installing aligned beliefs and our goals for a compelling future. You guys know what SMART goals are? Specific, measurable, achievable, and they're time-dependent, realistic. Well, you can actually program your SMART goals into your timeline. So this is where we're using hypnotherapy as well as timeline therapy. There's also a beautiful and powerful, very short protocol to help you take away anxiety using timeline therapy. And in fact, I had my practitioner, my trainer do this with me right before I spoke on TEDx, right before I was going to go to speak on TEDx. She helps me take away any anxiety I had. I was actually looking for it. I was like, where is it? I seriously, like, this is amazing. And I'm going to show you another tool I use at TEDx to feel extra confident and empowered today. So this is where you're planting in the flowers because it's nicely fertilized in the soil, and now we can put the good stuff in. All right. Okay, you guys ready for more fun? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so let's just sit up a little bit more. Okay. I'm going to show you a technique that you can use, especially if you're a speaker during this event. You know, before any important meeting you have, this will support you. All right, so what you can do is they're going to have a magic resource button. Would you like to have a magic resource button that will boost your confidence just like that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, 2 people? That's good. What about the rest of you? Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is if you're right-handed, choose your left hand. If you're left-handed, choose your right hand. And you're going to choose the first knuckle. This is a technique you can teach your kids too. All right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to program in some states, preferred desired states. So I thought, who all wants more confidence? Most of us do, right? So I think that's safe to say we want more confidence. How about empowered? Can we also program in the empowerment? Okay, amazing. All right, so what I'm going to get you all to do, and of course, if you don't want to participate, that is totally fine. Remember, the more you participate, the more you get out of this. I'm going to ask for you to take a breath in, close your eyes, ground yourself, feel you in your body. Actually, my apologies. Before I do that, I want to walk you through how this works. So come on back. So what's going to happen is I'm going to first ask your unconscious mind for permission to make this resource button. And I must get a congruent yes. If you say no, that's fine, then don't participate. But I must get a yes, because we need to respect the unconscious mind. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you remember a time where you felt very confident, a specific time. And as soon as you have it, just nod. Okay, your eyes are closed at this point. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to get you to float back to that time, go down into your body, feel what you feel, see what you hear, and see what you see, hear what you hear, okay? And as you start to really feel it, I'm going to be very animated, all right? As you start to feel it, you're going to start to press your knuckle, that first knuckle. And you're going to press it, and I'm going to be like, feel it, feel it. Feel it. You're going to really let yourself feel it. So this is going to be really about using your imagination and being there, because your body cannot tell the difference between thinking about something versus being there. All right? So you're going to really feel it. So I'm going to get you to do that for about 5 to 15 seconds, and then we release. Then I'm going to ask you to do it 2 more times for confidence. So we're going to lock that in. Then I'm going to get you to open your eyes, and we're going to break state. I'll ask a really random question because we want your conscious mind back in. And then we're going to do that again for empowerment. All right? You guys ready? Yeah. Okay, good. That's a little bit more enthusiasm. All right, good. So taking a breath in, grounding down. Would it be all right with your unconscious mind for us to create a resource button and for you to be conscious of it? Yes. Awesome. All right, we are going to anchor in confidence. So I want you to remember a time where you felt so confident. Remember a specific time. You got it? Good. Float back to that time, down into your body, see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, and as soon as you start to feel that confidence, start to press your button. I want you to feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it. Yes, you're so confident. It's exuding through you. Yes, feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. And release. Now I want you to remember a second time that you felt totally confident. A specific time. When you got that, just nod. Good. I want you to float back to that time, down into your body, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt. And as soon as you start to feel it, press that button and feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. There's so much confidence running through you. Yes, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Yes, feel it. And release. All right, can you remember another time where you felt so confident? A specific time. When you do, nod. Good. Go back to that time, float down into your body, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt. And start to press that button. Yes, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Yes, you got this. Yes, feel it, feel it, feel it. And release. Open your eyes. Do you smell popcorn? Darn. All right, good work, good work. Okay, let's store and anchor in empowerment. Same knuckle, we're gonna do stacking. That's what this is called. Okay, you can stack up to 5 positive states on one finger. All right, okay, so when you're ready, take a breath in, close your eyes, ground down. Can you remember a time, a specific time when you felt totally empowered? Good. Go back to that time, float down into your body, see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, and as soon as you start to feel totally empowered, let yourself press that button, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Yes. Good, and release. Can you remember a second time when you were totally empowered? A specific time. And nod when you got it. Good. Go back to that time, float down into your body, see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, and press that button as soon as you start to feel totally empowered. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Yes, feel it. You got this. You're so empowered. It's running through you. Yes, feel it. And release. All right, can you remember another time where you felt totally empowered? A specific time. Good. Go back to that time, drop down into your body, feel what you felt, see what you saw, and hear what you heard. And as soon as you start to feel it, press that button. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Yes. So much empowerment running through you. Feel it. And release. Good. Come on back to now. You guys hungry yet? All right. Let's test. All you need to do is press that button and notice what happens. You feeling it? Yes. All right. You guys feel that? You feel the sensations of confidence, empowerment moving through you? Good. You can do this on your own. This one, you don't need a practitioner to support you. You can literally do it on your own. It works like a battery. So the more you use it, you need to recharge it. And you can, again, stack more than one emotion in here. Okay? Isn't that fun? You can teach your kids this magic button too. It's so fun. Okay. I'm going to show one more because this one is very powerful to help you release shit and help you get from a negative state into a positive state. Okay? So I'm going to get you guys to stand up, spread out. This one's really quick. I get my clients to actually do this one first thing in the morning. All right. So what you're going to do, okay, I'm going to get you, it's not going to feel very comfortable. But I want you to think about a stress situation that's causing a little bit of, negative emotion. It's stressful. Maybe you're anxious. Maybe you're, feeling sad about something. Okay, these are all healthy emotions, by the way. Negative emotions are healthy, okay? But we don't want to stay stuck in them. You agree with me? Yes. So I'm going to show you something where it's going to help you shift your state in the moment. All right, you guys all got something? You're feeling like hurry up, Roz, right? Good. I want you to start gathering all this crap, okay? Start gathering it out. So if you got knots in your stomach, pull it out. If you got like this negative thinking, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, and you're going to create a ball of crap. All right? Yeah, you can help each other out. You made me snort. Okay, so okay, so pull. Okay, you've got it. You guys got to use your imagination. Kids love this. Like, this is the power of using our imagination. Okay, you've got it? Oh, okay. You got all of it? You sure? Yeah? Okay. So you have a choice. You can throw this at the sun. All right, we're going to pretend the sun's over. Well, it is over there. So you're going to throw it at the sun, or we're going to throw it at Mother Earth. You choose. But what's going to happen is when we throw it at the sun or Mother Earth, it's going to burn and it's going to transmute. You ready? But I don't want you just throwing it like this. Okay? You need to actually use some power and throw it. All right? You ready? 1, 2, 3, go! right, and watch it burn. If you put it to Mother Earth, she's taking it. She's like, yeah, give it to me. I'll just burn it for you. And the sun's like, yeah, I'm just going to burn it for you. Burn, 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 burn. You feel that? Okay, now I want you to stand in Wonder Woman or Superman pose. All right, and I want you to feel, you can close your eyes. I want you to feel as if you are Wonder Woman or Superman. You choose. And you feel the solidness, the empowerment, the confidence. You feel it, feel it, feel it. You're standing here. You are solid. You've got this. Yes, feel it. All right, breathing all of this in. And if this one isn't resonating with you, you can put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and let yourself actually breathe into your hands. Because sometimes breath work is more powerful because we feel it. And then you breathe out down into your roots, your feet, to ground yourself. So you guys get to choose. I have variations here. All right, so you use what works for you. But this is bringing you in the states of empowerment. One more breath in. And breathe out through your solar plex and create a bubble around you. All right, so you have this bubble around you. And this is your bubble of protection and connection. So it protects you from anything that doesn't serve or support. Anything that is less than love and light just bounces off. And then this also connects you with anything that is of love and light, that does elevate you. This is what makes you magnetic. It brings more of the good stuff to you. All right? And this is your place of power or place of peace. And this place is always available to you. In fact, I always encourage my clients to wake up like this, just taking a breath in, grounding down their breath into their feet, taking another breath in, and moving it out through their solar plexus, which is your power center, and creating a bubble around. Now what's it like to think about this stressful situation you were just thinking about from this place of power? Different? Maybe it doesn't have as much of a grasp on you. See how powerful that is? Good work, you guys. You're amazing. Thank you. And go ahead and sit down. Amazing. And finally, there are handouts on your seats from me. So that one is, the first handout is a feedback form. I always welcome feedback because that's how I'm going to improve. Okay, it's also a draw slip. So this is a draw slip to have a one-on-one coaching breakthrough session with me where you can bring your biggest challenge and I'm going to help you bust through it. All right, so fill this out. I do have some free resources as well, so you'll read through it. I have a free resource for a self-empowerment activation audio. As well, you guys can keep the second form, which is, because I want you to win, I got more resources and goodies for you, okay? This one is Speak to Influence. So I'm also a speaker coach, and I help people create magnetic messaging and storytelling, so that's a freebie for you. And then the last one is Clients on Command. It's a free LinkedIn workshop put on by my amazing LinkedIn mentor. I had no clue what I was doing on LinkedIn a couple years ago until I joined his program. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So if you guys have any questions, I'm sticking around for lunch. Would love to chat more. Thank you so much. You guys have been awesome.